Hi, welcome to Focus on Jacksonville. I'm Dr. Keith Johnson. Now, I'm sure that you would like to change your economic situation, and I'm sure you'd like to change your status and improve it if you could. There's one certain way to do that, and that is to get an education for whatever you're talented for. You decide what you can do, and you decide how to get better at it. There's nothing better than a good education to help you get where you want to go. And one of the reasons you're probably spinning your wheels is because you need to look at an education. Now, it has nothing to do with age. I don't care what kind of situation you're in, I don't care how old you are. You can get an education and improve your situation, which is why we're going to spend some time in the halls of Jones College. I want you to meet some students. I want you to meet some faculty that have been in similar situations to yours that need help and that have found the help by putting themselves at work at education. And I hope what will happen by the end of the program that some of you will think about getting down to Jones and looking over the financial situation and seeing how you can improve your own lives. That's the object of this program. So if you will, sit back and go with me to the halls of Jones, meet some of the students and faculty with me.
I'm sitting with the director and dean of the Westside campus, Kelly Snodgrass, and she's going to talk to us about life in college and what it's like to push through a workday and maybe a little bit of her home life. Before we get started, Dean, could you tell us about you?
Yes, my name is Kelly Snodgrass. I have a master's in sociology. I went to the Florida State University for my master's. I went to the University of Southern Indiana for my bachelor's. I am married almost 11 years now with 2 kids, a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. They're excited to get started with 4th grade and 1st grade.
That deserves a degree in itself.
Yeah.
That's a school by itself. Talking about degrees, you're working at Jones College.
Yes.
And what do you do as director and dean?
I am the academic administrator for the college, so I ensure that all of the policies and programs follow the Department of Education regulations and our accrediting agency, the ACICS accrediting agency, their policies and procedures, so that the quality of education that students get at Jones College maintains a high level of quality.
Now, Jones has been with us in the city about 95 years, is that right?
Yes.
What kind of degrees does it now offer? It used to be just business.
Right, and we've expanded to 6 degrees. We have 2 levels. We have the associate level, which is a 2-year degree, and the bachelor level, which is a 4-year degree. With the associate's degree, we have 4 programs. We have an associate's level paralegal studies, an associate's level business administration, an associate's level computer information systems, and an associate's level medical assisting, whereas our bachelor's are those 4 programs again, legal, computers, business, and medical, but we've added elementary education, and our 6th area is that of interdisciplinary studies, which is a unique program which allows you to earn a bachelor's degree but tailor the information split between various different programs so that you can tailor your experience to the type of job that you want to have exiting college.
Now, in theory, an associate's degree is 2 years.
Yes.
If you go steady through it, it's about 2 years, could take a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
A 4-year degree is a bachelor's degree.
Right.
A college degree, actually.
Right.
And Jones used to be just simply business, but now offers elementary, medical, legal, all of these that probably entail a lot of different talents.
Mm-hmm.
Is it important to go to college?
In today's work environment, yes. College is the degree that you earn at the end of the college road shows employers that you are capable of learning, that you're capable of setting a goal for yourself and achieving it, and disciplined well enough to commit so much of your life. We're talking about 2 years and 4 years. Well, that's a full-time, full class load, you have nothing else to do but go to school, it will take you 2 years. Most of our students have a family life. They work for a living and put in 40 hours work week, and so school, they can't commit the 4 to 6 classes to commit to a 2-year program. They're doing 1 or 2 to 3 classes a term, which takes closer to 4 years to earn the 2-year degree because they're going part-time. And that is a large commitment of 4 years of your life of juggling the demands of school, the demands of family, and maintaining work and being a model employee. So when you're finished with college, it shows that you're able to prioritize, you're able to multitask, you're able to communicate, and all of these other transferable skills that employers are looking for are automatically wrapped up in, I have earned a degree.
Now, who can come to college? Who should come to college?
People who want to learn are the people that should be in college. I think that the door should be open to anybody who wants to expand their knowledge and wants to learn and wants to improve their lives. So everybody who wants to have the means and opportunities to improve themselves and to improve their status in life should come to college. And here at Jones, between our financial aid program and our admissions staff and the academic staff, we work well to facilitate anybody who wants to and has that desire to how to best come to college and blend all those work lives.
Now we've got a mother watching the screen, ironing, with 4 kids from 3 years old to 8 years old, pounding at their ankles and screaming for food, and she's convinced she can't afford college. Talk to me about her.
Well, first of all, Jones College does not require a admissions fee for even just exploring your options at Jones College. There's no upfront cost. You can submit an application and talk to the admissions rep and the financial aid representatives without any out-of-pocket expense for you. And you could do it online, so you don't even have to take the kids onto campus for you. With that, the financial aid packets, our financial aid representatives are well versed in all of the grants and loans and scholarships that are available to students, and helps facilitate the student applying for Pell Grants and different loans. Most of the students do end up having to take some financial aid loans out, which are typically subsidized from the U.S. government, which means instead of accruing interest on the loan money that you have taken out while you're in school, the government pays that interest. So when you leave after 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, instead of having not only the monies that you've taken out plus all of these extra interest charges, you just have the money that are taken out for while you're in school, and then when you have 6 months after school to find a job without the worry of a loan payment before the government turns over your loans for you to pay back.
So the bottom line is, this poor mother that can't afford it, or this single guy trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life and doesn't know where to go, or somebody that has come to what they consider the end of the rope, or somebody just looking for some guidance, ought to at least open the doors to college and see what can happen. And we have areas and possibilities of even financial aid for him if he qualifies.
Yes.
Well, there you have it. You need to come to school. You need to come to Jones. You need to try it. You need to give yourself a chance. Now, can anybody walk in the door and apply?
Yes, anybody can walk through the door and apply. There is an admissions committee that has, you need to have a high school diploma or a GED in order to meet the education requirements. There is an entrance exam that is no charge to take, but it assesses the skill level of the student to ensure success. And if you're close to college ready, there are remedial classes that will help boost those skills so that you can have success in college without that jump from not being in school to being in school be so scary. And then there is a background check that is required for our programs. If you're going into legal, medical, or education, those careers have heavily scrutinized background checks, but it's free of charge for you to come and have your background checked, and so that you know what obstacles would be there for you in any type of employment. And we, even if there is a background obstacle, we do have other programs where it wouldn't be an obstacle.
Mrs. Snodgrass, thank you very much for taking your time and talking to us. You need to come to school. Call the number 743-1122 and ask to speak to an admissions representative, and then come up here and go to either campus and take a tour.
Everybody has problems. All of us have to struggle through and try to make our life better, especially when the problems pop up. Nobody has any harder problems than this next student you're going to meet. She's been through situations in jail. She's had to raise kids by herself. She's had to pay for her bills, make these kids taken care of, and she's also going to school full time. Now that is an absolutely impossible task, but this young lady is doing it.
I have with me a student from Jones College, Amber Smith. Amber, when did you graduate from high school?
I didn't graduate.
Oh, you didn't?
I got my diploma in jail.
Well, that's important because there are a lot of people that are watching who didn't graduate that have unusual circumstance. So when you adversely went through and got your diploma, what made you decide to go to college?
Just to better my situation in my life for my kids and get a better job.
You have children?
Yes, 2.
How many?
2.
How old are they?
9 and 8.
Girls?
A boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. So you're right in the middle of it. So you're trying to work to support them, you're trying to go to college, and you're trying to raise them as well. That's a lot of stuff.
Yes.
It's almost impossible to do, but you're doing it.
Right.
And why do you think college is important?
I believe learning is important for everybody, and before going to college, it's kind of hard to get a job unless you know somebody. So if you don't have the intelligence to back you up or the diploma to back you up, then it's hard to get a good job.
Let's just suppose that somebody's watching this TV program and has circumstances similar to yours where life has not been real good. They've had a rough time. They're trying to get over it. Do you have some advice for them?
Yes, just continue to do what's right and go to school, and everything will work out all right.
Amber, thank you so much for talking to us.
Okay.
Imagine being in the middle of life and needing to start over. Not only starting over, paying bills, having a new family, taking care of an old one that you had, and going to school full time. Impossible tasks. And yet this young lady is not only doing it, she's doing it happily and is a delight to everybody that knows her. This is Joy Kemp. I want you to meet her. I want you to listen to what she says about education.
We're sitting with Joy Kemp, a current student at Jones College. Joy, what's the reason of going to school?
I was in the profession of administrative assistant with a local company for over 10 years and was laid off in 2010. In starting back out in the workforce, I found that because I did not have a degree, the pay that they would have offered me to do the job I did was very minimal. The workload still would have been there, but the pay would not have been. So talked it over with my husband. We decided that I could go back, you know, try to get the degree that I would need to get the salary that I was used to making, and also love the profession I was in. Handled a lot with human resources and benefits, and with the computer technology today, the computer classes that I take here are great. They're helping me understand, and I'm able to do more presentations on the computer, more PowerPoint, more of the understanding of the programming itself. So I think not only will the degree help, but the extra knowledge that I'm getting from the college and starting back helps.
Is it hard to readjust? You're not going to go to college. You have a family that you've been taking care of. You were working. Is it hard to readjust?
At some schools it may have been, but at this school, no. I have found that they are willing to work with you as much as they can on your schedule, your classes. The professors here are great as far as understanding the workload that you have. They know that you have a life outside of the college. They know, even though I'm considered a full-time student, that I have responsibilities. We have a lot of students here that I share the classroom with that are single moms. They also are the only breadwinner in their home, but yet they're able to keep and maintain a very, very good grade, and the workload is not that hard for them. It's because we have sort of like a family atmosphere here. It's like, you know, if I need help, I know I can call on somebody else to help me. You know, if I don't understand something, I know that I have a tutor within a day. You know, it's not like I'm on a waiting list of weeks or hours to get anything done here. So because of the type of school that Jones College is and what they offer, it's not that hard. I love it.
What kind of degree are you pursuing?
I was going for the medical field, but I looked through, you know, I'm 53. My age, what I want to do in life and what I'd like to pursue, I'm changing it to the business administration. So I changed it this last semester.
So at what age do you go back to college?
Any age. There is no, you know, if you can find a college like this one where you know you're going to have the support you need, and you know that you're not going to be looked at as, oh my gosh, she's so old, you know, because they don't hear it. You know, some of the girls here and even the guys, it's Miss Joy, you know, will you help me do this, or can you explain this? Because they know I have the life knowledge that they don't have yet, and they have the knowledge as far as the books that I may not have. So it's kind of like we help each other, and I don't feel bad at all about my age or being here with them. They're a great bunch of students. The faculty is just amazing. I just love it.
There's a mother struggling with 4 little kids that she's raising. There's a executive who just lost his job because the company went out of business. There's a, excuse me for saying it, a bum that can't get a job, hasn't gotten one for years. Which of those people should go to college?
All of them. All of them. I was like, you know, the executive who just lost their job. I was like the mother, you know. In my mind, I was thinking, I can't do this. You know, it's too hard. There's no way I'm going to be able to take on the responsibility of home and do this. And then my age, you know, I thought, oh gosh, with my age, how can I possibly do this stuff? You know, I haven't done algebra, I don't think, in probably 30 years. And it was like, you know, you just slide right back in. And you're not looked down here. You're not looked down upon here. It's like they treat you with so much respect. And I can't say enough about it. The professors here, you yourself, Dr. Johnson, you know, I have your cell phone number. I know if I have a question or a problem or an issue that even may be outside of the college realm, I can call you for your advice. And I know that if you have the time at that moment, you'll tell me. If not, you'll say, you know, let me call you back.
I forgot to pay my bill.
Did you? We'll have to put a word into the college, because I know you have a lot of students who just depend on you still.
Well, you need to come to college.
Yes.
You need to call 743-1122 and come in. If you can't make an appointment, just come in when you're nearby. 2 campuses, one in Arlington, the other at West Side. Call and get the addresses, and then come on in. Joy, thank you.
Thank you.
such a thing.
It's not just students and administration that make up a college. It's also, of course, your involvement with the professors. Now, I would tell you that in this day and age, there's probably nothing more important than learning computers and how to deal with them, even if you only use them in a daily on-to-on business. I want you to meet Professor Rosling, who teaches computers. Be a good idea to see what it's like to have to face the world, technically speaking, and what you can learn from there. Now, let me say at this point, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't make any difference what kind of situation you're in. You are welcome to school. I have many students that are much older than I am. Don't worry about your age. Come to school, look it over, and get enrolled in some classes. Even if you only enroll a couple, it'll change your life. Meet the professor.
All right, let's suppose that some poor guy is watching us. He doesn't really have any tech experience. He likes the idea of getting involved in some computer or something. Can he basically come in and sign in for a course?
Absolutely. That's what the computer literacy course does. It takes somebody that is a blank slate, that has no experience or understanding of computers at all, and takes them to a point where they can actually talk in technical terms to somebody about how their computer is performing, whether it's running slow, maybe it needs more RAM, maybe they're having problems with viruses, things like that. It gets you to that level.
So your goal is to make them from illiterate with a computer to literate,
Absolutely.
to using it on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Which is a necessity nowadays.
You can't get away from the computer,
You
can
can't. And any job you go into nowadays, you're going to have some exposure to computers and therefore some experience with computing and computers. Whether it be a desktop where you're working in a cubicle or email, or if you're in customer support, basically anywhere you go, you're going to have some computer experience.
If somebody wanted to sit down with you, can they just walk into school and talk to you, or they have to make an appointment?
I haven't had that occasion arise yet, but absolutely. I always have an open door policy. If anybody wants to talk about computers or whatever, I'm always open for that, sure.
So if a housewife, for example, does it make sense for a housewife to learn computers?
Absolutely, because computing and jobs and even training in the college environment is moving more and more towards telecommuting, which means working from home. So even a housewife who even has maybe a child at home can find a job where she can perform that job at home as long as she's connected into the internet. In other words, it's like taking the cubicle where she worked and just putting it at home. There's no reason for her to have to drive there and drive back home, to put her kids in daycare and all that stuff. She could do the same exact job from home. So a housewife, super opportunities for jobs out there.
It may seem like an ignorant question, like most of mine are, but are there a lot of jobs starting to take place at home because of the computer?
Absolutely. That's where industry is going. Think about it. It saves the company tons of money because they cut down on their overhead. They don't have to buy the equipment. They don't have to set up the cubicle. They don't have to support all the infrastructure. That person can have that same capability in their own home, in a small office, home office. They don't have to drive. It saves all the energy. It saves the pollution. It saves the transportation time. Everything. It's good for everybody.
What about
And she could be at home with their children. She doesn't have to send them to daycare.
what about computer literacy? Let's say somebody is familiar with a computer. Should they still come in and take courses?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, IT is a moving target. It's continuously growing, changing, improving. Technology changes very, very quickly. So you have to kind of keep up. If you're going to get into the IT, information technology industry at all, you have to enter somewhere, and it's a continuous process of learning. You're always learning.
What do you say to somebody whose generation didn't even have computers when they grew up? How do you talk to that housewife or that businessman?
There is actually what's called the digital divide. There are actually people in the world who do not use the internet, They may have some computing experience, but it's very minimal, and they prefer to keep it that way. And we're talking, elderly people that never really got on board with computers, so they still do things manually, and that's okay. I would say if that's what you're comfortable with, then there's not any reason for you to get into computing. If you're interested or curious about it, certainly let's talk. But there are people that just don't want it, don't like it, and get along just fine without it. So I respect that.
743-1122. You should call the school, or you need to come in and see Professor Rosling and talk to him about your own computer ability and how you can improve it and what you should do. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, my pleasure. Nice talking with you, Doc. Good seeing you.
You too. It is good to see you.
Sasha Scott.
So why is a young girl like you getting out of high school going to college?
I want to be successful, and I feel like that's the only way I can.
Why do you think that?
Better education, further my education.
Do you think that's important to further your education? Mm-hmm. It's expensive, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But you think it's worth it?
Mm-hmm. Get to learn more and experience more.
Did you always think during high school that you would go to college?
Mm-hmm.
And so you intend to, you're not sure where you want to finish yet, but you think that's important to your career?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else in your family graduate from college?
No, sir.
So it's brand new to your whole family experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to get through. What about, why did you pick Jones?
The environment was great, and the professors and everybody was just, they had a great attitude.
And that probably is important, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that you meet a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Older people.
older people. So if someone was thinking about graduating from high school or furthering their career, you strongly suggest that they go to college?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anything you'd like to say to suggest what it would take for somebody to have success?
Dedication and hard work.
Sasha, thank you very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
904-743-1122. That's your phone number. That's the school's number, and they're waiting for you to call. They would like to talk to you about the possibility of you changing your life by going to school. And you ought to think about it. You ought to consider how you can change your economic situation and how you can make your life better and the life of your children and the life of your family better by going to school and making yourself better. You won't regret it. It's something to consider. Now remember this. There are all kinds of programs, all kinds of scholarships, all kinds of availabilities that you are not aware of unless you walk through the halls of the school and talk to an admissions counselor about what the school can do for you. You'll be surprised at what kind of availability there is, financially speaking, once you sit down and explore that opportunity. Now, I hope with all my heart that you've considered education in your life. Put that iron away, put that laundry away, put that cleaning the hall away, and get over to school and see what school has to offer you. You'll better yourself, and you'll better your economic opportunity too. Now, I've got a real treat that I've kept for you towards the end of this program. I have a really, really cute joke that somebody has handed me that is really funny, and I'd very much like to read it to you as kind of a happy ending to the program. So now, here's the joke. This horse and this turtle go into... It's so funny. This horse and this turtle... I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so funny. This